That means Ishvara Puri is the spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Ishvara Puri is the foremost disciple of Srila Madhavendrapuri. So we shall read from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is the Madhya Lila, chapter 1, at least Madhya Lila, chapter 4, entitled Sri Madhavendrapuri's Devotional Service. Text number 197. Aidena Dayadranatha He Maturanatha Kada Valokshiyase Hridayam Tvad Aloka Kataram Daita Brahmyati Kim Karomyaham Aidena Dayadranatha He Maturanatha Kada Valokshiyase Hridayam Tvad Aloka Kataram Dayita Brahmyati Kim Karomyaham Aidena Dayadranatha He Maturanatha Kada Valokshiyase Hridayam Tvad Aloka Kataram Daita Brahmyati Kim Karomyaham Mataji. So before I go to the translation and the purport by Srila Prabhupada, we will say something about the verse first. This verse attracted Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which was originally spoken by Srimati Radharani, and thereafter, at the time of leaving his disappearance, was spoken by Sripad Madhavendrapuri. It is considered that this verse is like the moon, and it can illuminate the internal consciousness of devotees. At the same time, it cannot be understood. Now, the Kaustubha money is considered the most precious of all valuable stones. And this verse is similarly considered the best of poems dealing with the rasa or mellows of a devotional service. Actually, I mentioned earlier that this verse was first uttered naturally by Srimati Radharani herself, and by Srimati Radharani's mercy, it is manifest through the transcendental mouth or lips of Sripad Madhavendrapuri, which is the last feature of his consciousness before he left this world. So, the third person, Srimati Radharani, then Sripad Madhavendrapuri, to only have tasted the consciousness of the verses, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, there's no fourth person who's capable of understanding it. Only these three personalities. Now note, it's Srimati Radharani, it's Sripad Madhavendrapuri, and it is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that indicates that Krishna himself does not understand this verse. There's no fourth person. So the devotee should not try to understand. Krishna himself is not even that fourth person. So, Sripad Madhavendrapuri, he recited this verse, not, Srila Prabhupada doesn't use the word repeatedly. There's a meaning to repetition, means saying the same thing over and over again. See? But Sripad Madhavendrapuri did not repeatedly say the verse over and over again. It is stated that he recited the verse again and again, and that's how he left this particular world. That's how he left this world. So his recitation of the verse is not on the basis of repetition, which could be boring. But he recited this verse on the basis of feeling great separation from Mathuranath, the Lord of Mathura. So these ecstatic feelings of separation means that you will call upon the person more and more and more in a more and more internal, deeper state of consciousness. So it's not a repetition. I'll just read the verse again. Ahi dina dayadranata he maturanata kadavaloksyase hridayam tvad alokakataram dayita ramyati kim karomyaham. Now the word for word. I, O my Lord, Dina, on the poor, Daya Adra, compassionate, Nata, O Master, Hey, O Mathura Nata, the Master of Mathura, Kada, when, Avalokshyase, I shall see you, Hridayam, my heart, Tvad, of you, Aloka, without seeing, Kataram, very much aggrieved, Daita, O most beloved, Mriyamneti, becomes overwhelmed. Kim, what? Karomi, shall do. Aham, I. Now you can repeat the translation by Srila Prabhupada. O my Lord, O most merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved one, what shall I do now? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. The uncontaminated devotees who strictly depend on the Vedanta philosophy are divided into 4 sampradayas, or transcendental parties. Out of the 4 sampradayas, the Sri Madhavacharya Sampradaya was accepted by Madhavendrapuri. Thus he took sannyas according to parampara, the disciplic succession. Beginning from Madhavacharya down to the spiritual master of Madhavendrapuri, the Acharya named Lakshmipati, there was no realization of devotional service in conjugal love. Sri Madhavendrapuri introduced the conception of conjugal love for the first time in Madhavacharya Sampradaya. And this conclusion of the Madhavacharya Sampradaya was revealed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he toured southern India and met the Tattvavadis who supposedly belonged to the Madhavacharya Sampradaya. When Sri Krishna left Vrindavan and accepted the kingdom of Mathura, Srimati Radharani, out of ecstatic feelings of separation, expressed how Krishna can be loved in separation. Thus, devotional service and separation is central to this verse. Worship in separation is considered by the Gaudiya Madhava Sampradaya to be the topmost level of devotional service. According to this conception, the devotee thinks of himself as very poor and neglected by the Lord. Thus, he addresses the Lord as Dina Dayadranata, as did Madhavendrapuri. Such an ecstatic feeling is the highest form of devotional service. Because Krishna had gone to Mathura, Srimati Radharani was very much affected, and she expressed herself thus, quote, "My dear Lord, because of your separation, my mind has become overly agitated. Now tell me, what can I do? I am very poor and you are very merciful. So kindly have compassion upon me and let me know when I shall see you." Unquote. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always expressing the ecstatic emotions of Srimati Radharani that she exhibited when she saw Uddhava at Vrindavan. Similar feelings experienced by Madhavendrapuri are expressed in this verse. Therefore, Vaishnavas in the Gaudiya Madhava Sampradaya say that the ecstatic feelings experienced by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during his experience came from Sri Madhavendrapuri through Ishvarapuri. All the devotees in the line of the Gaudiya Madhava Sampradaya accept these principles of a devotional service. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Ajnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada in November of 1977 was completely emaciated, and he was bedridden, they say, in that sense. And he could not function on his own for the basic activities of caring for the body. So naturally, he sort of turned himself over and allowed himself to be cared for, by his disciples. And those who were doing such intimate service, bathing Srila Prabhupada, taking care of his stool and urine, and practically feeding him, dressing him, and so forth. This is a very intimate service. And Srila Prabhupada allowed himself, to be taken care of following a decision that he told his disciples that he would sort of stay a little longer. So he sort of postponed the lesson in terms of leaving the body, giving the devotees unparalleled opportunities to serve him in such a simple and pure way. See? And this was not just allowed for several few. Srila Prabhupada made it clear that anyone can come from any part of the world to see him in that, month of half of November, 14 days. Anyone can come from any part of the world and can perform whatever the service they'd like to do. It was like open access in that way. Now, such intimate service in relation to caring for every need and practically for every breath that Srila Prabhupada is breathing doesn't require philosophy. It doesn't require any realization. It just requires the simplicity of the language of love of the heart, which comes out through affection, to care for someone that they are deeply, in love with. So at one time, of course, Srila Prabhupada, practically there was no eating, there was no sleeping, nothing. He was completely conscious all the time. Yeah. And devotees used to enter Prabhupada's room and massage his body and sit with Srila Prabhupada as long as they liked. Even the secretaries, like the firm ones like Tamal Krishna Goswami, they didn't do anything. They didn't say leave the room. Like that. So they could sit as long as they liked, and day and night, chanting the holy name for Srila Prabhupada's pleasure. And at one time, Srila Prabhupada expressed himself, which he doesn't really normally do, in terms of, he will reciprocate with the affection and love of the devotees, but he will not say anything. He will not say anything. So at one time, Srila Prabhupada, completely giving himself to the devotees, he declared to the devotees, never leave me. These three words, never leave me. And then he paused for some time and he said, I cannot live without your company. That depth of gratitude, which is boundless, expressing to his devotees of all the services that they have performed for him, he still desires their association. Because they had asked him to stay, and he sort of agreed, resigning himself completely, to their care. So in the similar way, prior to this, at the last stage of the life of Sripad Madhavendrapuri, he became completely invalid. I visited Ramuna Dham and I spent significant number of days at the Samadhi of Sripad Madhavendrapuri also. One of the most powerful and potent Tirthas one can be with. So Madhavendrapuri was completely invalid and he was practically unable to move And his principal disciple, Sripad Ishwarapuri, completely engaged himself in the service of Sripad Madhavendrapuri and personally cleaned up the stool and urine. And always also chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and speaking about the pastimes of Radha Krishna. Sripad Ishwarapuri gave the best service amongst all of the disciples of Sripad Madhavendrapuri. And one of his disciples is also Advaita Acharya. See, in that sense. And Sripad Madhavendrapuri was so pleased with Ishwarapuri. He said in a very simple way that my dear, like when you call somebody out of affection, he didn't use the word disciple. He said, my dear boy. Out of affection, when like a father tells the son, my dear boy, I can only pray to Krishna that he will be pleased with you. Such a simplicity of his consciousness, of Madhavendrapuri in the last days of being in that particular body that we know as Madhavendrapuri. So, that benediction given to Sripad Ishwarapuri gave him that principal service of becoming the spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, which he really didn't ask for in that sense. Yeah. And also, looking at the same thing, in the book I'll Build Your Temple by His Holiness Giriraj Swami, and this is a nice way of looking at it. Similarly, how Sripad Madhavendrapuri was personally cleaning up the stool and urine, like that. And I'll tell a little bit more about the stool and urine of devotees who are in pure states of consciousness. Yeah. It smells like I forget the name now. Aguru. You use in deity worship? Aguru. Yeah. And there's a fragrance to Aguru. You want to explain that fragrance? Give microphone. Our Ramrup Prabhu is our Mahant here. So
actually, yesterday only I was hearing Radha Gunj Maharaj's lecture. He says nowadays Aguru is not available only. They
okay, just explain the fragrance and don't say it's not available. And the original Aguru may not be, but explain the fragrance. He has spoken. He has spoken silent words. He cannot explain the fragrance. Yes or no?
Yeah.
You see how I tested. He isn't in charge of the deities. They use like a imitation form of Aguru, right? And the fragrance of Aguru cannot be explained. Just like if I ask you what's the taste of water, can you explain? Because it's Rasoham Apsakunteya. The taste of water is Krishna himself. It cannot be explained. A guru like that cannot be explained. See? So similarly, when Narottam Das Thakur was cleaning up where Lokanath Goswami was passing in the morning, see, that fragrance after Lokanath Goswami was passing was attracting Narottam Das Thakur to go there and do that service. See? But here, Ishvara Puri himself, he was with Madhavendrapuri. And the smell, we may call it like, the waste product of the back passage of the body. But no, it was ecstatic. That I want to do this service more and more. So when you have an ecstatic consciousness that you want to do the service more and more, we may say externally see that cleaning up the stool and urine. And Srila Prabhupada gave an example of a mother with a baby. When the baby passes stool, the mother is ecstatic. The baby's body is functioning. She doesn't care about the smell. So the smell of a guru is the ecstatic consciousness of the person who's cleaning up that. It cannot be explained. So if there's a very deep affection for somebody and you clean up the stool and urine, the smell of a guru is your affection of the service, not externally seeing that I have to do this kind of service. No. That's the smell of a guru. The smell of a guru is the consciousness of serving. Therefore, it cannot be explained. See? So, from I'll Build You a Temple by His Holiness Giriraj Swami, on page 625 of that book, I'm reading. That evening, this is November 13th, a day before Srila Prabhupada's departure in 1977. That evening, Prabhupada indicated he wanted to pass urine. And because most of the more experienced devotees were not present, Upendra thought I should do it. That means Giriraj Swami should do it. So I placed the plastic urinal bottle between Prabhupada's legs, eased his private part into it, and waited. But nothing came. I waited and waited, but nothing came. So I turned to Upendra for guidance, and he indicated that I should take the urinal receptacle away. And then His Holiness Giriraj Swami gives his realization. Although in a way we had not been successful, that means Upendra and himself, the experience had been incredible. After that simple menial service, I felt more purified than if I had offered hundreds of aratis or chanted hundreds of rounds. And I considered that Prabhupada had mercifully given me the opportunity to serve him in this intimate, personal way and experience some divine grace. So, if you get an opportunity to serve devotees who are leaving their bodies, that opportunity only comes at that particular time. Take full advantage of it. In inverted commas, you may call it nursing care. That's not like that. It's much more than that. It's much, much more than that. So take full advantage of it. So now we'll go to another feature of Sripad Madhavendrapuri. In Kavi Karnapur's Gaur Gunidas Dipika, Madhavendrapuri is mentioned to be an incarnation of the principal Kalpa Vriksha tree in the abode of Vrajamandala or Goloka Vrindavan. So this particular Kalpa Vriksha tree, it bears fruits that gives the consciousness to serve, which is called, you could say in one sense, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati used the word in English, mellows, for the word rasa. And Prabhupada uses the same word also. Yeah. So this particular Kalpa Vriksha tree, which is the, you could say, in modern language, the prototype of all Kalpa Vriksha trees. So when this Kalpa Vriksha tree bears fruits and flowers and leaves, it gives an impetus in the different rasas, which is serving Radha Krishna, or friendship with Radha Krishna, or parental love with Yasoda and Nanda, and even conjugal love. This is mentioned by Kavi Karnapur in Gaur Gunadesh Dipika. Now I looked at some evidence to support that, and I found the verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila chapter 9, text 9 and 10, and I'll read the verse. Just that particular line. Jaya Shri Madhavapuri Krishna Premapura Bhakti Kalpata Rura Tenho Pratama Ankura. And the translation by Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Madhavendrapuri, the storehouse of all devotional service unto Krishna. He is a desired tree of devotional service, and it is in him that the seed of devotional service first fructified. We okay so far? Now I looked at great research for many years. Who is Sripad Ishwarapuri? It is not mentioned. Either in Radha Krishna Ganadesh Dipika or in Gaur Ganadesh Dipika, it is not mentioned. But it is indicated. It is indicated in Chaitanya Charitamrita again, in the next verse. Same, Adilila chapter 9, text 11. I'm reading. Shri Ishvara Puri Rupe Ankura Pustahaila Apana Chaitanya Mali Skanda Upajila. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The seed of devotional service. Who is the seed of devotional service coming from? Madhavendrapuri, which is the previous verse. Then this continues. The seed of devotional service next fructified in the form of Srila Ishwarapuri. And then the gardener himself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, became the main trunk of the tree of devotional service. And there I found it. See, so this is very clear that Madhavendrapuri is the desired tree of devotional service. And because of the desired tree of devotional service, gives fruits and possibly flowers and nice new leaves. So those fruits and other things that the desired tree of Madhavendrapuri give, that fruits is called Srila Ishwarapuri. on the same tree. And then the gardener comes. And who is that? Who is that? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the gardener comes and he becomes sort of the main trunk of the tree of devotional service. This is how it's spoken in Adi Leela chapter 9, text 9, 10 and 11. It's like one leading to the other in that sense. Now, in the mornings we sing the Shishi Guruva Astaka prayers by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And our Guru Vandana is given by Narottam Das Thakur during Guru Puja. Yeah. But in the morning we sing Nikunja Yuno Rati Keli Sidhai Yayalu Bir Yuktir Apeksaniya Tatrati Dakshat Ati Vallabhasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. Any person who is acting as guru, it should not be an act. You understand? You should not fit the profile of being a guru. Is it sinking in? You cannot act as guru, and you cannot fit the profile to become guru. The relationship of intimacy doesn't require that. It doesn't require that. So therefore the relationship has to be established in affection between hearts. Then Nikunja Yuno Ratikeli Sidhai Yayalu Bir Yuktir Apeksaniya. Now all of you have been to Sevakunj, right? You know Sevakunj? Been there. See, in Sevakunj, you will see that these trees, the branches, nikunja, it becomes a kunj. The branches, the way they grow, they don't grow upwards or sideways. The branches always grow and it touches the ground and it creates a kunj. In English, sometimes we say it's a bawa. It's a bawa, kunj. See? And because the trees are completely conscious, two branches will make like an entrance way, and you enter into it. Getting it? You enter into it. And when Radha Krishna at Sevakunj enter into that, then everything I don't know if I should explain it, but you see, usually the flowers come on the top of the branches. But when they bend, the flowers apparently go underneath. And when they go underneath, they fall into the bawa, into the kunj. And it becomes a bed of flowers. Then Radha, Shyamasundar enter. And when they enter, the tree itself, the Kalpa Vriksha tree itself, closes. It intertwines and closes. Not even the sunlight can enter. Not even Vayu, the air can enter. So anyone who speaks about the intimacy of Radha Krishna Leela is a cheater, liar and bluffer. Nobody has access to that. Because Radha Krishna, one supreme soul in two forms. How can anyone have access to that? But there's only one witness. There's only one witness, not a participant. Who is that witness? Who is that witness? The Kalpavriksha tree. And that is Sripad Madhavendrapuri. Therefore, this particular verse is only known in its consciousness to three personalities. First expressed by Srimati Radharani, then expressed by Madhavendrapuri, because he wants to go back to his original service. As the principal Kalpavriksha tree in Goloka Vrindavan. Of course, there's the consciousness of Ishvara Puri also because of the fruits and the leaves and the flowers that this Kalpavriksha tree gives. But principally it's Sripad Madhavendrapuri. Do you have any comments or questions? You had your hand up. One hand is here. And give the microphone first to Narada Rishi.
Maharaj, you didn't ask me about that Akrur, you asked the Pujari. Because
you have to, this sound is, I can't hear clearly. Maybe it's my defect of my hearing because of old age, but...
I said you didn't ask me about Akrur, you asked the Pujari, head Pujari, because he's in the department.
Yes.
But as far as my knowledge is concerned, yes, it has no special flavor.
It has no special fragrance.
Fragrance, excuse me.
It has a fragrance.
It has a fragrance, but it has not, like it has no description.
You cannot explain it.
Yes.
Just like you cannot explain the taste of water.
Exactly.
Yes, go ahead.
But I would say it is kind of flavor, that which is kind of like incense has many flavor. And that can be expressed. But whereas Akrur has not expressed, but it is kind of incense flavor.
Are you trying to squeeze something out of this? Naughty. But I'll explain that now, just
Okay.
to... Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Narada Rishi, Prabhu,
Yes, Maharaj.
do you have a little bit affection for me?
I do.
Little bit.
Whatever that is up to my discretion, but I do.
Okay. So can you tell me the fragrance of your affection for me? How does it smell?
It smells nothing like Golakara Premadhana.
Yes, that is the fragrance of a guru.
Exactly.
Got it? Affection cannot be described. So you can imagine this stool and urine of Sripad Madhavendrapuri that is being touched by Ishvara Puri, that is affection. And you can easily understand that when a mother does that to a baby, the mother, when will this baby pass urine? When, then I know it'll grow nicely, like that. That's affection. Is that okay?
Fine.
Microphone here. We'll take last question because it's Dwadashi, grains. And now we can say the prayer, Sarira Vidya. Yes, what's your name?
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much. So,
What's your name?
Katwandas.
Kathmandu.
Katwan. Katwan.
Ekat.
Katwan.
Ekat.
Ban.
Band.
Yeah.
Prabhu. What's the meaning? I'm lost.
Eka means one.
Yeah.
Katwan is one with Krishna
One with Krishna.
in service.
Oh, serving to please Krishna. Not one. Others may misunderstand. Okay, what's your comment or question?
Thank you, Maharaj. I try to follow your class, but it's difficult because I try to follow your class the most of my ability, but it's difficult because
Which country you come from?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Sí.
Okay. Did I pronounce that right? Puerto Rico.
Español. Spanish.
Spain.
Spanish.
English, okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
So, and I tried to follow your class. It was very nice class. I can understand that, definitely, but I cannot follow everything.
No, actually, I didn't understand what I was saying myself, so I don't know how you understood. I was trying to understand what I am saying. If I hear the class myself, was that me? It's bewildering. What's your question?
So, Maharaj, is in relation to the verse that Srimati Radharani was explaining that Krishna cannot understand. You mentioned that.
That Krishna can. Radharani was explaining, you're saying Krishna? Yes. Yes.
So, but then I was reading in Chaitanya Charitamrita how one way or the Rupa Goswami can understand the mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he wrote a verse and he put it in the top of the door.
In the tree, yeah.
And
the
then-
thatched roof, sorry.
Yeah. So then he went to Swarup Damodar, and he explained how one way or other Rupa Goswami can understand his mentalities.
Yes.
So then Krishna cannot understand the verse, and the follower or the disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can understand. So can you explain that, please?
Yes. So when you meet Rupa Goswami, you can ask him. Because only he understood. Can you do that?
By your blessing.
I bless you to meet Rupa Goswami, and when you meet Srila Rupa Goswami, you request him to bless me to also meet him. Is that okay?
Whatever you say is okay, Maharaj.
All right. Thank you very much. Should we stop now? There's one hand in the back. There's Mataji. Put the hand up. Put your hand high. The microphone will come to you. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Your name? Prabhu, help her with the microphone.
Hare Krishna.
What is your name, Mataji?
Chandrika Priya Dasi.
Chandrika Priya
Dasi.
Mataji. Okay. Tell us.
Hi Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for the class. I just wanted to ask you that on this auspicious day of Madhavendrapuri Disappearance Day, what should be our prayers to Sripad Madhavendrapuri?
For the devotee, every day is auspicious. Is that okay?
Yes.
And you can always chant extra rounds of japa and you can serve the Vaishnavas. Just as Ishvara Puri was serving. He was chanting Hare Krishna and also serving. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Srila Prabhupada ki, Sripad Madhavendrapuri Pad ki, Sri Ramunadam ki, Ananta Gauri Vaishnav Vrinda ki, Bhagavat Breakfast Prasadam ki, Yathai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.